Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends, going over some information they gave us last night on 1.14. Now, this isn't everything. This is just some of the stuff. It's a lot of champion, well, it's a few champion changes. We're going to go over those right now. They're also going to give us 100 expanded roster space. It does not say storage space. It says roster space, which is very sorely needed. You know that. You know I've talked about this a lot. Now, we need way more than 100. We need 100 every update, not just roster, but storage as well. So this is just a small start. If it doesn't keep going, then we're back. We're already back where we're at. We need more. Now, they're saying here, and I really hope they don't include this in the patch notes because we already know they're incompetent. It just makes them look even more incompetent by them saying this. So right here, it talks about they can't expand it by 500 or 1,000 at a time because champions have artifacts on them and it's data we need to save. And whenever we do that, it makes the servers unstable and whatnot. We know that. You know that. You've been dealing with this for over a year, trying to figure out how to do this for your damn company. Yo, call somebody. If you don't know how to do it, call somebody and get it done. Obviously, this makes you look pretty dumb. Really. So also it says the devs are searching for a way to optimize this feature so that we can have more slots in the future. You've been working on this for over a year to try to figure it out. Right now, it's time to just, call somebody and get it done. Okay, This is unacceptable for anybody trying to play the game and it needs slots when you just keep bringing out champions after champions. All right, let's get into these changes here, and that's all we've got. So we've got these changes for Lord Chanford. His A1 is going to be changed instead of a 15% chance to crit to apply decreased defense of 60%. Now, that's very strong. Anytime we get a chance to apply 60% decreased defense on a champion, we can bring them in there to help us get through the waves and to help us beat bosses. We do love that. And then his A2, of course, is the same. It does an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown, decrease accuracy, and decrease attack. So very strong. We got an AoE decrease attack and a decreased defense. This guy can be used for a lot of things now. A lot of things. Very cool. Just that small change alone made it. Now, I don't think this writing right here hasn't changed anything, so I don't know why that's even in there. For his buff. Now, this is the only weird thing about him that we've always wondered. This guy, he gets a 2-turn, right here. For every 1 turn, you get a buff, shield buff on himself, and if somebody breaks that shield, they take a slow speed. It's still at a 15% slow speed. I don't know why. It should be a 30%. It doesn't apply to everybody that hits him. It only applies to the person that breaks it. So, kind of weird. So now his shield's going to go up to a 20%. Really, it should be anybody that touches him with a shield on, I think, should get the slow speed. You've got Madame Cirrus out there. Anytime anybody touches her with a shield on, and she gets one every turn as well, 10% of her max HP, they get a chance to put fear on them, which is way dirtier than slow speed. Fear is. So, I don't know. That really needs to be updated. So, Madame Cirrus has a way better ability than him. Currently, when he gets up to 20%, yeah, he's going to have a much higher shield. He's got pretty good HP. So, I don't know. It's good changes for him. Good changes. This is going to make him, Lord Chamford, actually viable in a lot of areas. I mean, carrying through waves, we get an AoE decrease attack of 50%. We can use that on the boss too. 3-turn cooldown, great. We get a decreased defense. It's going to help us out a lot. And we get shields to protect himself. And he also has, look, in dungeons, 50% HP. A great aura. A really good aura. So I'm happy about those changes. Marshall, this guy has been around forever. It has never been changed. He's the ugliest looking dude in the game. Looks super scary, right? Not necessarily ugly, but he's got that creepy vibe going on, right? That half vampire, half bat, whatever. Looks like he should do some damage. Looks like he should do some crazy things, but nobody's ever used him. So on his main attack here, he attacks one enemy 1 time and heals himself. Now he attacks one enemy and then also attacks anybody else who has a leech debuff. This makes me think it's going to hit pretty hard because whenever you say a condition to attack anybody else, this isn't an AoE attack with a low modifier on it. This is a single target attack that would normally hit for whatever our A1s hit for, right? Pretty good damage. And then he's going to go off and hit other people with his A1 if they have a leech debuff and then heal some more damage from that. So if that's the case, it's going to be pretty hard hitting. So we'll probably see him go in and physically hit one person, come back, and if they have a leech on, he'll go and proceed to hit those other people as well. And then also he's going to change up this buff right here. This increased speed buff on this champion and one other target ally is now going to be to everybody. Places on everybody, all allies, increased speed of 30%. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, so we're looking at another, Apothecary, Haikatoon, Golden Reaper type person that's going to increase our speed. Very, very good. And then also increase our critical damage by 30% for 2 turns. And then grants him an extra turn. So really this is going to be on a 2-turn cooldown because it grants him an extra turn. Very cool. Very cool. I actually like that a lot. And then also, oh yeah. Plus places on all enemies fear for 2 turns at 100% chance, and Leech. That's going to be pretty insane because, again, this is a 3-turn cooldown, but you get an extra turn. So it goes to a 2-turn cooldown along with, lowering the cooldown of everything else, and this is on a 3-turn cooldown. This guy's going to be very strong for placing these. He's going to be placing Fear nonstop, placing Leech nonstop, giving speed increase to your team, and additional critical damage to your team. I'm gonna actually, I wish I had him now. I'd really like to try him out and play him. So on his A3 here, attacks one enemy, does this heal reduction. Let's see. Attacks one enemy, steals all the buffs from them now. Probably at 100% chance with books. Deals 50% more damage against targets without buffs. So you know it's his A3. It's going to hit really hard. Especially 50% harder means a lot. When you get that critical damage going and you hit those critical damage hits, if you do 50% more damage of that, it is a lot of damage, guys. A lot of damage. When you take brackets and all the rest of it, when they deal damage with 40% increase, it is insane. So this is going to be a lot. And then places the heal reduction, and then self times 2 continuous heals of 15% for 3 turns. This is insane. Like, everything on this is really crazy. So this guy's going to be good. This guy's actually improved quite a lot. So the first 2 ones, great. First 2 guys we're seeing legendary champions are doing really good. Now Warchief, he is a skinwalker, right? We got he is a skinwalker, right? I went into Ogre Tribe. Okay, here we go. I've got Warchief. Actually looks really cool. I like the way Warchief looks. This is like the 3rd revision on Warchief. They just can't get this guy right, and this isn't gonna do it. So right here we have his normal attack, steal a buff. This is this one right here. He's only got 2 attacks, mind you. 2 attacks based off of defense, fine. He's got a reflect that does a lot of damage, but really it doesn't do a lot of damage because I played this a lot in Arena. High-end Platinum Arena, top 10. I played this all the time trying to get this guy to work, and he would never reflect really 60% of the incoming damage. There was always some weird caveats. I think there's something going on when people have Helm Smasher or when you pull in other attackers to do damage and they all come in. It just never worked right. It never worked properly. And here he's just attacking. This is a normal attack. I don't see any change here on this one. Oh, it's going to a 4-turn cooldown instead of a 5-turn cooldown. This is not enough to fix this guy. Not even close to it. Also, defense increase for each dead ally. Like, you don't even want dead allies. Why would I want to increase defense? This is, I don't know who's doing this guy. Wrong. Warchief is still terrible. More to Mukab. So these are champions that they said they could not change because, what is he? Demon Spawn? Yeah. So these are champions that they said they couldn't change because they are, heroes, lead champions, bosses of campaign. So when you go through the campaign, you go to the end of the campaign, you fight Bad Alcazar, you fight this guy, you fight all the different ones, right? They've always said to us that they can't change these because these are those bosses of the campaign and it would mess everything up, or they don't know how to get into the code to do that. So, every time they tell us stuff, again, it just makes them look incompetent with what they're doing with their game. So attacks all enemy 2 times right here. Attacks all enemy 2 times. Places a target block debuff for 2 turns at 100% chance, I'm sure. Before it was much lower. So that's really good. Places a block buffs on all the enemies. So they can't get buffs for 2 turns. That's a very strong ability. I like it. If the target is a block heal, block buffs is unresistible. So if you have a heal block on them, it will be unresistible then. Okay. Each hit has a 20% chance to activate hidden. So before, to activate his hidden skill, which this skill is very powerful based off his max HP, 10% chance to activate peril whenever you do an ability. Now it's a 20% chance. That's a very welcome change. We're going to have some surprise oh crap moments where he's going to activate peril pretty often, and we're going to be in trouble. Real trouble, because when this kills you too, you cannot revive. So it's a very strong ability. Very strong, and it does hit really hard. And then we got a 20% chance to boost turn meter instead. But it says 20% chance here too. So I don't know. There's a little bit written up. So all this did was increase his peril and then increase this one to, instead of having all these weird conditions of having a heal reduction up to actually apply it, now he's just going to apply it. And then if we do have heal reduction up, he's going to be unresistible. So much better change for a legendary. We're getting there with him. It's a welcome change. Now, Richtof the Bold, I've got Richtof the Bold. This doesn't do anything for him. I'm going to go over all the skills that they're talking about here. So, again, when you drop enemy max HP from damage done, there's no real place in the game for it right now. Even in Arena, it's not, you don't even last that long. It's not a big play. It's not a big deal. So they're increasing the amount that the target decreases the max HP on his A1. So, whatever. Didn't do anything for him. Did not do anything for him. So his A2 here, you know, it attacks one enemy and then places a 5% poison for 2 turns and cannot be removed. Now I think it's going to go to attack all enemies. Attack one enemy 3 times, applies poison to all enemies now. Okay, so now you're still attacking one enemy 3 times, but you're applying poisons to all enemies for 2 turns with 100% chance, but it's not going to be under the cannot remove. So it only applies for 2 turns. Is that 3 times or 1? Are you only applying 1 AoE of 1? Or are you attacking one enemy 3 times, and each time you hit them for 3 times, is he going to place 3 different instances of poison up on everybody? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And then right here on this move, he's going to deal additional damage, 20% critical damage for each poison on the target. So I would assume if this doesn't spread and it does 1 poison on everybody, then they really messed up. They really messed up. If it does 3 on everybody, much better. And then this one here, it's going to do a whole lot of critical damage for each poison on the enemy. That could actually work out. Maybe I misjudged him. I don't know. We'll see. Vergus. This is like our 5th time coming around to Vergus to redo his skills. They have really redone this guy so many damn times, it's not even funny. But I will tell you right now, this guy's going to be a great carry in the game. A great carry now. So they actually did something good with him. So before, he would do this ability right here on 1 person, and that's it. On a 3-turn cooldown. If they keep this at 3-turn cooldown, now he's going to do Ally Protect on everyone, right? Increases defense on himself because he's taking 50% of all the damage that's done. I don't even think the increased defense on himself matters, though, because I think with Ally Protect, he just straight up takes half of the damage, so it's kind of weird. But well, whatever, that's fine. But he does place a continuous heal, increased speed, reflect, and whatever for 3 turns chance, right, on somebody. And then he places shared damage on everybody on a 3-turn cooldown. So this is another big carry. Go through the waves. He's taking 50% of the damage. He can come in here and do this, right? Reflect damage on an ally. He also has this on himself. So while he's taking half of the damage that everybody else is taking, mind you, for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, he's also placing continuous heal on himself, apply a shield on himself, part of his max HP, and it's on a, that's at a 3-turn cooldown? Yeah, and this is on a 3-turn cooldown. So I don't know if they lowered the cooldown. They might have lowered this, and this is going to go really low to a 1-turn cooldown. Well, we'll have to see. Increased defense in all dungeons. So this guy's going to be really good. I mean, this guy's going to be really good. I'm excited to see him change. I'm very excited to see him change. So Oathbound over here is in the, what? Oathbound here is also an exciting new change, I think. Now, I was kind of looking at this skill and being like, this skill is pretty decent for Fire Knight, but still nobody used him because of the rest of his abilities. So them actually changing this is okay. I do not actually mind this because it's going to go to an AoE ability that decreases the turn meter of everyone out there by 20% with a whatever percentage chance to apply. But it's going to also decrease the attack. And here's the ascended version of it. Decrease the attack by 50% on all enemies for 2 turns. Now, this is on a 3-turn cooldown. If we have a guaranteed 3-turn cooldown that can decrease attack of 50%, that's very strong. And there's a component in there to decrease turn meter. That's actually really good based off of defense. Keep in mind, though, this guy's based off of defense and he has die defense. I love champions that are based off of defense, have high defense, and can do this. Very strong. We're going to take less damage. Good to have on the boss, everything else. But again, we're not going to be able to use him for Fire Knight as much because he just doesn't have anything else now. We've taken away this 3-hit that could decrease turn meter and whatever else, and he has a 4-hit here. So let's see. Now his 4-hit, if target is under decreased attack debuff, place a block active skills debuff for 100%. But they did increase his speed from 88 to 95. We're going to really have to test this guy. I don't see any great changes to him. I wish they would have kept this ability the same. Attack one enemy 3 times has a chance to decrease turn meter. They could have made this a 2-hit. That would have been really cool. And then made this the AoE one. Made this the AoE decrease attack one and then lowered the cooldown. So it'd be a 3-turn cooldown in the end. That would have been really good. That way we could have kept him viable for Fire Knight. Made him even more viable with Fire Knight with making this a 2-hit. And then put the AoE component in there. And this guy would have been pretty sweet. This guy would have been pretty damn sweet. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Dutchess Lilitu. So you know Dutchess Lilitu. Everybody has her. She is amazing. What is she? I can't even remember right now. I've had Dutchess forever. She is a... Here she is. Demon Spawn. Amazing looking champion. The only change we're going to do to her is her passive here. So before her passive, and I guess this, a lot of times this didn't work for me either. I used to stack these up all the time to get a huge reduction from all sorts of things, and it still didn't seem to work sometimes, a lot of times in Arena. So now they're just taking that away. If an ally is under the invisibility, which is the perfect veil, the veil, that they'll reduce the AoE damage taken even further. Now they're not going to have that anymore. That's okay. I was worried they're going to come in here and gut her and make her terrible. That is okay. Not a big deal. We're not going to die not having that with Dutchess. That's fine. Now I hope this is a new round of nerfs that we're going to start seeing to super overpowered champions out there that don't make sense. I really highly doubt it, since we still got quite a few out there that, Rotos and Sifi, we've got Hegemon, we've got Tormund still. We've got quite a few we could tone down to make the meta of the whole entire game much better, especially for Arena, but we'll have to see where that goes. But that's all I've got for 1.14 that's coming to us. You guys let me know your opinions down below. I appreciate all your time and support, and I will see you guys all on a video soon.